Alrighty, so here we are. We are on scholastic.com and we are on the Magic School Bus tab. As you've probably known, we chose for our passion project to do the space theme because it's something that's very easy for kids to get involved in, as well as adults, because it's something very interesting and something that we don't get to see on the daily basis. And so here we are, we're at the Magic School Bus screen on scholastic.com, and I am going to click on the space environment. And we're headed to games and activities. Now, there were a couple things that I really liked about this application that I was able to find. Because if you go down to the activities, it has different science experiments. And there are plenty on here. While some of them aren't necessarily included in the space theme, there are things that I think would be very interesting in an elementary classroom environment. But one of the ones that I would look at for us would be Meteorite Beach. And it gives you everything you would need to be able to do the science experiment in the classroom. So although this isn't technically something that you would be able to do interactively with the classroom, I thought it was very interesting that they have this option that you can get on here and see different experiments. You could potentially put this up on a smart board for having students kind of follow the directions off of this screen, but I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to throw that in here, one, so I could go back to it, and two, just because it's kind of cool. But back to where we were, so let's go back to games and activities. If you go down to the games, there is actually one of the games called Space Chase. This is one of the games I think I'm probably going to end up using for the Passion Project because every kid likes the Magic School Bus. It's a video movie collection that a lot of us grew up on watching and something that I don't think will be going anywhere by the time we all become the educators. So with this game, it's the Magic School Bus Space Chase. Basically, we're trying to find Miss Frizz. It says, "Can you find me? I'm on the planet closest to the sun." So with this application, students will be interacting with it and having to choose and use their knowledge. Now, as you can tell, Mercury is going to be the closest one. So here we are. It says, "Good job. I was here on Mercury just a few minutes ago, but it was so hot I had to go. I decided to find someplace cooler. A cold blue-green gas planet just beyond Saturn." So with this, the students are having to imagine the solar system along with learning fun little fun facts like we saw here. It was just so hot I had to go. So students will be able to connect to the idea that Mercury is very hot, and then she gives you kind of the next clue to find her. So now we're going to be looking for her on a cold blue-green gas planet just beyond Saturn. Now, so here we are, we go back to the screen. So now students will be able to know that Mercury is very hot, being able to see it close to the sun, so it's for visual learners, and also being able to interact and do it themselves. Now, if we look out here, past Saturn, our two options are Neptune and Uranus. Now let's say we accidentally click the wrong one, and for some reason we decide to go to Jupiter. It gives you an explanation as to how maybe you could have thought that, but how it's also wrong. So it tells you that you found Jupiter, but not Miss Frizz. Jupiter is a gas giant. So as we spoke, we're looking for a gas planet. It explains that it is also a gas planet, but it also talks about how the surface is made up of liquid gas, which is not exactly what we're looking for. So let's try it again. So we found her. So it talks about how Uranus is awfully cold and lonely. "I miss you kids. I went looking for you." So, and I like this application a lot because it's something that you can kind of have up in the classroom and having students. I almost think of it as like Dora the Explorer, where she kind of asks a question and waits for the reaction of the class. And so I think that would be something that would be very cool to implement in a classroom by using this Magic School Bus application that I was able to find on Scholastic. And so I think it's also really cool because, like I said, we're kind of doing a space theme, and this is very sciencey, so it could potentially be one of the games, activities for the science portion of our passion project. But I think it was really cool just because it's very interactive. I think it gives the kids something that they can be interested in. Like I said, I always grew up as a visual learner, and so a lot of the times I kind of struggled in class because I didn't have anything to actually look at. So I think being able to have this right here, a map of all the planets for them to visually be able to see the solar system rather than just trying to mentally guess, I think this information will be able to be retained for longer. And so this is once again, it's the Magic School Bus page on scholastic.com. I really like it. I think it's something that I'm definitely going to put in my passion project and and make sure I include in there. But yeah, so this is Space Chase, the Magic School Bus for our passion project, space themed. Thank you.